Hey everybody, it is it is the settlement. So we had sort of a bizarre day. Had this nice flush down in the morning that reversed up, um, and it's the end of the month, so they don't want to give up their profits. I think I'm making that clear this morning. So it was the end of the month um, makeup trade to get it off the bottom. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a big gap down this weekend. They have been wanting to sell this market. They, meaning the funds, um, either that or just stay flat. Um, we'll get new month levels and new um, week and new day next week. So it'll be a good day. That's what's the Monday and Sunday to sell off. So the the month point range is 135, 271, and 379. So we can get an idea of where that is. Um, take a look at it real quick. We just chart out. So we're ending on the threes, and they kept it inside the three. So our resistance held. Um, that's the line. Okay. Put this back in. All right, here we go. Get my ruler out. The first one in the box is 135. Overshot it, didn't I? There we go. Close enough, 135.25. All right, close enough. So this is the monthly one, and that's like a big, almost a range day. Could be, but so if we do have a gap down Sunday, that would be a location to look for the bounce, 135 points, um, up or down. It could break out to the upside too. What are we doing? It's going to be getting out to the downside. Our weekly range is 104.75 for the first target. I'm going to mark on the chart this 135. I'll just say 57.90. And then 104.75 on the bottom. Here we go. 104.75 to the stick. Alright, so that looks like it's gonna be somewhere close to 58.11, 58.10. I'll just call it 58.10. So this 5800 is going to be in play to the downside. Rule of thumb approximation. Um, we could do the same thing to the upside. I just don't see them breaking this out to the upside. They have been chomping at the bit to sell it. So, selling may go away. Um, so yeah, 5,800 for Sunday, Monday. And on the quarterly, 58.31 is the level. So that would be right in front. So, and then 57.48 is the downside. If it gets a little bit hairier, that 58.31, 5,800, 57.50 for downside targets for Monday. Um, Daily range today, we had a nice extension. There is a little bit, this was month end. You can't really read anything into it other than that. But 79.50 and it was 77.25. So they were right on the daily range today, from the top to the bottom. So it's like once you get to 77.50 from the bottom to the top, you can see that that got to be the point of no return. So the ranges are working out pretty well. The algos are still trading to them, so I'm real happy about that. And I'm going to do a video this weekend about some crypto coins. I think we have some options for our instrument for crypto. Yeah, we have a couple of different options. So I'll go through these. And the futures also, there's a futures Bitcoin as well. Um, I'll have to add that to my instrument list. And we'll take a look at some markets um, over the weekend, and I'll show you that it's basically the same thing, points and levels. Once you get your point range, then you can, find your levels. Um, and it's just a matter of trading the range. It's a bad habit that I get in trying to trade tops and bottoms, but of these intraday ranges, it's better to get, a thesis and trade a system so that you're trading consistently. Um, and if you allow yourself to get large enough of a bar size, you can stay in the range more. Uh, so you can also do something with the Jats PT levels as far as setting the range up. So we could set it to the R ball or the H ball level as a 60-minute range. So you can see here that the H ball is 22.75 and the R ball is 11.75. So let me just show you that real quick. All right, we're going to start with the Uniringo. And so if we're going to be doing um, a 60-minute PT3 13.25 or 22.25. So let's start with 13.25. So, oh, now it's 14. Jumps around a lot. So 14 times 4 is 56. So you can do an open offset of 28. That would be half of it. And that would just make the bar look a little bit more even. I don't know how many days of data on here. I should have checked that. Oh, it's not usually this slow. I've got some screens open and plus the streaming, so CPU intensive. Plus, I have not used this bar size before with ES, so it's kind of building. And hopefully, I got kind of 150 days on him. Oh, come on, come on. Well, we can, I guess, come back to that. I don't know what happened. It's not loading. We may have too many resources open, so my apologies for that. I'll get some charts for you, but the goal is to use, the point range and get a chart that's set up for a time frame. And that way you can use the min max indicator from NinjaTrader. We'll put a line at the top of the range and a line at the bottom of the range. And then you can use the Donkian channel mid-band to see where the middle of that range is. Um, and it works out pretty good. Too bad I can't show it to you. My apologies for that. But I'll get some charts set up. And there's another way to get the Unirika situated. You can do a full point range. So right now we're up to 1825 at 73 points. I think it's probably better to do the H4 since it doesn't move around. 1625. That would be 65. So you could set it to 1165, and that way you can see all of the pullbacks. And I like to use the Bollinger Bands, so I'll get some templates set up. So here's the 1156. So there's your 60-minute range today. For this time period, it looks like it had that nice big move up, and then you can see it channeled it building. This is kind of nice too, the way you can do the half range for your offset. You can see that when you pull outside of the half range, that's actually the buy. You can trigger an entry right there and then take it back to the top of the channel, trail it up or down. So, but the key is to try to get, a time frame that is going to be consistent. So the there's a template for the 1 hour IB range also, and that works very well also for bar size. And or you could put this more like a candlestick instead of a this looks like a unicorn. You could set this up like a candlestick by putting um, the 56 points as a tick trend, um, 28, 28, and then the offset would be 1. And that'll get you an even bar, bar by bar by bar. So it look more like a candlestick. And then we can put a Fibonacci on it. The indicator, there's a Fibonacci indicator, not a Fibonacci bar. I know that they have a bar type Fibonacci, but there's also an indicator on the Mercatore indicator ecosystem, and it's really nice. Um, we can, get more of a synergy with the trend that way also. So once you get a structured system, here's that bar. So if you add this, the Fibonacci indicator, V8, all right, you see how that smooths it out? And then the min-max indicator, here's your max, here's your min, and I like to put the Gaussian mid-band in here. I put the Gaussian on top of the min-max. There we go. And that can be a nice tool for you that you're using a 60-minute bar. If you want to use um, 2 times the range or 1.5 times the range, that you can do also. You can take the 2275. Make sure these are 60 minutes. I think they are. Yep. 2275. 4 times would be 91 ticks. 1.5 times, so that would be 136.50. So if you change it to 136.50, put that in half, that would be 68 each side. Again. So here you have 1.5 times the range. So that gives you a little bit more wiggle room. You know what I'm saying? So you can take a percentage of the bar price. You can do this like with a daily or the 1 hour ID or the RTH session or the go back session. and either use the point range, multiply it by 4 to get the tick size, and then adjust the bar. Um, to that, either the tick trend, I like a 1 tick trend and the reversal, the full amount, and one for the offset. That way I can just see nothing but a line with a price action on it, up and down in that range. But here, it's pretty cool because you get to sit through more of your price action without getting in and out. We have all state above or trend channel. This actually pulls back pretty. Oh, no, it's, hmm. Well, I'll have to get that worked out. It might be the indicator. So, it's very hard to see it, but the wick did come down. Right on that line too. Remember that tonight, that's a little bit longer. Um, but it works out very well as far as getting into a trend using the time frame or the percentage thereof. Um, and if you find a time frame you like trading in, um, just be aware that you can really do a lot with your risk this way by um, taking advantage of location, and especially knowing if the daily one is inside or outside the H1. I don't know if inside or outside the H1. So today we're inside the morning, and it just um, did a nice reversal at the daily too, pretty much right on the nose. So thank you very much for the patience there, getting my chart working, but might want to try setting up your universal bar to be, the bar size. I guess the H5 is better than the R bar since this is, extremely dynamic. So, but the trick is when you get R bar to cross an H1, 1, 2, or 3, because that can be a trigger. So whenever R ball is at 8 going to 1625, we're going from 8 to 2275. When you break the 1, where do you go? You go to the 2. So you could plan a nice, 8-point risk trade right here, trying to get to the 2 on that breakout. Uh, I hope y'all have a nice weekend. I'll get the cryptocurrency charts up and get a video out to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you then.